Hello, all you wrestling fans, smart marks, non-smart marks, casuals, whoever you are. Welcome to another edition of Squared Circle Speak, the pro wrestling podcast about anything and everything professional wrestling. I am Ryan. With me is Nathan, and today we are here together because it is WrestleMania weekend, and we're going to be watching some Mania. But before we get to all that, we are going to be talking about the week that was in wrestling and some other fun topics along the way. Nathan, you ready to go? You ready to get into this?
Yeah, we're going to start with what we always start with on this podcast. We'll start with WWE. We are right in the thick of WrestleMania week here, right?
Yeah.
It's the start of WrestleMania week. They got all kinds of stuff happening this week. It's crazy. More than I've ever seen. And so we're going to jump right in. We'll start with Raw first. And what did you think of Raw, Ryan? We had, you could tell it was like the Raw before Mania. It was not the best Raw, but they had some stuff.
Yeah.
We had Rock and Roman on the show.
Yeah, Rock and Roman were both there. You had them, basically the opening segment, which went a normal Rock segment, which was, 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins came out, challenged The Rock to a match, and The Rock declined. He challenged Roman Reigns to a match. They both declined, and then it was made that Seth Rollins would face Solo Sikoa in the main event. What a letdown.
Yeah, I feel like you can't tease stuff like that and then not,
The crowd was so, hot for that Rock match. They were like, oh, yeah. And I got excited. And I was like, holy shit. And then it obviously didn't happen. It kind of was a letdown.
Yeah, they could have even just did a little bitty match, Just did it like a 5-minute, they get a little bit of something, just a taste, and then just have it all fall apart with a big brawl, which is kind of what happened at the end anyway.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It did feel a lot like an Attitude Era type Raw, though, because that's what they used to do in the Attitude Era. They would tease like big matches like that, and then at the end of the show, the show flowed together. It felt like the beginning of the show, had the same momentum as the end of the show.
Yeah, it was very, it flowed better, as you said. Like I said, it was a decent Raw. It's the go-home Raw, so it's basically just story building at this point and getting ready for Mania. The matches themselves were what they were.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything to write home about on this show, even though, they had some good stuff. Sami Zayn and Bronson Reed had a good match.
Yeah, Sammy, I thought was going to get his win back, but then he just kind of got destroyed by
Gunther came out I guess technically it was a no contest, even though Sammy, I guess, should have technically won by disqualification, but whatever. They had like an 8-man tag that happened between the Judgment Day and New Day and DIY, which was what it was. They had a lot of stuff. Drew McIntyre did this whole eulogy on CM Punk.
That was pretty funny.
That was funny.
Well, once again, Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre are having this match against each other, but Seth Rollins is more focused on The Rock, and Drew McIntyre is more focused on CM Punk.
Yeah.
Which could lend to an opening for Damian Priest to cash in.
Because they are both focused on other people. That match is layered. A lot could happen in that match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Punk's going to be on commentary, so you never know if he's going to get involved or not. I assume he will in some capacity, but in what capacity? He obviously won't be anything physical.
Yeah.
But I'm sure McIntyre will keep jawing at him every time he gets a chance to. And at the ending of that match, we did our predictions last week, and we're recording this right before Saturday Mania, and I still have no idea where they're going to go with that match.
Yeah.
It feels like it could go either way, but I'm excited. Then, you had the Rhea-Becky segment, basically the same thing they've done.
Yeah, just a pull-apart brawl.
Yeah, it was, it's like we said, it's Raw before Mania.
The match of the night for Raw was definitely Ricochet and Ivar.
Yeah, that match was phenomenal.
And Ricochet picked up Ivar, which was...
Yeah.
And did a fall-away slam.
That's the thing. He didn't just pick him up He picked him up, held him for a little bit, walked around the ring, and then did a fallaway slam, which is the most impressive thing I've seen from Ricochet in a long time. He's done a lot of impressive things, but that was insanity to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And then get the win. So they're pushing Ricochet. I'm not sure where this is leading.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see them just push him just to push him. Like, he's not in any major feuds right now. He's not in any stories, but he's getting pushed. That's good.
Yeah. And then, then you had Seth and at the end with Solo Sikoa, which was a decent match for what it was for at the beginning. But then it just turned to the big brawl that we figured it would be. Cody Rhodes wasn't supposed to be there, but he showed up.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. It was a decent go home Raw, but not a lot of matches. It was a lot of talking. But that's to be expected. That's to play up the WrestleMania. NXT. NXT has just not been clicking for me, man. Like this past NXT was a lot of video package. Like, it was video package after video package.
Yeah, I mean, this was the NXT before Stand and Deliver, so obviously it's kind of the same situation as Raw, where you're just trying to build up to the pay-per-view, and you're trying to, get people to watch Stand and Deliver. There was a lot, though, between Trick and Mello and Ilya and Tony D'Angelo. There was a lot of just video segments on this show. The only thing really of note was Axe and Nathan Frazier won the Triple Threat Tag Team match to earn the right to go to Stand and Deliver and fight for the tag team titles. That match was insane. It was a 6-man. It was just an insane match.
Yep.
Axe and Nathan Frazier, I like them as a team. When they first got together, I didn't really know. I was like, it kind of sucks. Nathan Frazier's in the tag team. But they're clicking. They work really well together, and they're both high-flying and exciting, so... And of the three teams, I mean, the other two were basically main roster teams. So
I know. We didn't really want to see either one of them.
So Axel and Fraser were going to get the win regardless, I feel like, because you had the Good Brothers in the end, LWO. I mean, neither one of them were going to get the title shot. So
right.
A lot of promos. Other than that, Lexis King and Von Wagner had a match.
That was nothing to write home about.
Lexis King is great. This character, he's good on the mic, and the character work he's doing is great, but the in-ring stuff still needs some work.
I think he's just wrestling the wrong people.
Putting him with Von Wagner's not helping.
Then before that, he was with some other guys that were just not to his he's had experience, but he's had experience on the indies.
Yeah, but
he's more experienced than some of these guys, and they keep putting him with people, which is going to happen in NXT because it is a bunch of green people. But he's not being able to show what he can do because he has to try to elevate other people, which I guess is part of wrestling, though. You should be able to have a good match with anybody. But I don't know. Yeah, this match didn't do it for me.
Yeah. Sol Ruka and Blair Davenport, I thought, had a pretty good match.
Yeah.
Sol Ruka's back. Got the win over Davenport with a quick little roll-up, so it's good to see her back. Getting injured really killed her momentum, so she's going to have to build herself back up because her and Nikita Lyons are just
Nikita Lyons
injured. She's been injured 3 times now.
I think Nikita Lyons, when she came back, she had that one match that was not good.
Yeah.
And she hasn't been back since. So they may have soured on her. I don't know.
Yeah. But then other than that, that's all the big things. They just had a lot of segments. Roxanne and Lyra built up to their match. Trick and Mello built up to their match. So Stand and Deliver's happening. We did have, Nathan, the first episode of Speed.
Yes. Yeah, we got to talk about Speed here real quick.
Well,
both of these matches for Speed were each 3 minutes long. I thought they were going to be 5.
No, they're 3. Yeah, they're 3. Look, I'm not going to lie, though. Ricochet and Dragon Lee had a really good 3-minute match.
Yeah, but it's 3 minutes. It doesn't give you time to sell. It doesn't give you time to invest any kind of emotion into the match. And I don't know. It is what it is. I don't think it's going to be something I'm going to be watching every week because it was. I mean, yeah, I could watch it because it's only 3 minutes out of my day, but it is very, very. I don't know. I get kids have attention span problems, and so do adults nowadays. But damn, 3 minutes is short.
Yeah, like I said, Ricochet and Dragon Lee had a fantastic match for only 3 minutes. Ricochet won. Can't say the same for Bronson Reed and Cedric Alexander. It was a match. There was a minute left, so it was actually only a 2-minute match.
That's insane.
And Bronson Reed won. But, yeah.
So after they crown this champion, they're just going to have the person defend the title every week? Is that what it is? Like, what is this?
Yeah, I don't know. These first couple shows are going to be tournament matches. Then after that, I don't know if this is going to be its own little division or if it's going to be... every match is going to be I assume he's just going to do whoever wins this tournament is going to defend it every week on speed, I guess. They've been doing 2 matches, I guess, so 2 matches a week, 6-minute show. Corey Graves was solo on commentary, which was super weird. Just hearing Corey Graves by himself, but I guess, in a 2-minute match, it's kind of easy to do.
Yeah.
So you don't really have to worry about that, but yeah.
Yeah, speed is weird.
Very
we don't even know what the title looks like, do we?
No, they have not revealed the championship.
I'm assuming it's going to have some green on it because everything's green on this show.
I would assume so. I'm hoping it's a cool design, not like the 24/7 title.
It's probably just going to be the 24/7 title with the speed over top.
It might be. It might be.
All right, let's go into... Let's see. Let's talk about SmackDown real quick. SmackDown was even less of a... Man, oh man. You could definitely tell it was WrestleMania weekend SmackDown because...
A lot of Raw recaps and a lot of just previews for WrestleMania.
Yes, but we did have a Battle Royal, Ryan. Not a good Battle Royal, but it was about... Okay, so before we talk about SmackDown, there was a lot of press. A lot of people doing a lot of interviews.
Yes.
And Triple H got me all hyped up about this new era that we're about to get into. And... I ain't gonna lie, that Battle Royal was a big letdown because I figured they were gonna do something because I was like, it's probably gonna be one of the only things on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, they're gonna give it, 30 minutes. It's gonna be like this big Battle Royal, and the winner is gonna be something. And
nope.
No, there were people getting thrown out immediately.
Most of the people eliminated themselves too, which was
that's stupid.
Great.
You talk about AEW Battle Royal.
Yeah.
This was
bad.
This was an AEW Battle Royal.
Tozawa, I think, died.
Yeah.
Twice.
At one point, Tozawa, when he got eliminated, he got thrown over the top rope, and Otis was supposed to catch him and did not.
Reed threw him too far. Reed almost threw him into the freaking crowd.
Yeah, and Otis didn't catch him, and he hit Otis with his legs, which put him head first into the ground.
Well, he also, during the match, I think Bronson Reed or somebody hit him with a clothesline or something, and he did a spin and landed on his neck too. So
yeah, he's probably hurting.
So it came down to Ivar and Reed.
That was really the only cool part of this match was when these two started going at it.
Yeah, they were doing some flippy shit for Big Ben.
Yeah.
Bronson Reed won, so you actually got that right. You said Bronson Reed during your predictions last week that.
Yeah, I'm 1 for 1, baby.
The only thing that really upset me was Andrade was announced for this Battle Royal and then was not in it.
So was
Chad Gable.
I guess you can say Chad Gable got rode out of it because he got beat up by Gunther. But I think they put Andrade in here and then realized, wait, we don't want to see him lose yet.
And I think something that happened later may have made a reason why he wasn't in it either, because later on the show it was there was a match between who was it? Zelina and Elektra.
Yeah.
And before the match, Dragon Lee was taken out backstage. And then Andrade walked out with Legado during this match, and everyone was like, "Oh shit, okay." After the match, Elektra beat Zelina, which was interesting call. After the match, they were beating up on Ray, and then Andrade had turned face, aligned himself with Ray, took out Legado. After the break, they came back and said Dragon Lee can't wrestle. He's not cleared for Mania, so this match has already been devolved into chaos already. And then Andrade stepped up and said, I'll be I'll be your partner. Carlito walked in and was like, oh, Dragon Lee's out. And then Ray's like, oh, no, Andrade's going to do it. Definitely Carlito's turning at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There is no doubt in my mind now, after SmackDown, definitely turning.
Does Carlito get a push after this, Ryan? Is he going to turn and actually, move on from this stuff at some point and actually get a proper heel push in WWE? Do you think he's still got enough in the tank to do it?
Yeah, that's the thing. He hasn't wrestled very often here lately. And so I don't know if that's by design or if it's just to keep him... I don't know. If he turns heel, heel Carlito's the best. I hope he's still on the same level he was before.
Yep.
And I hope he gets a good run. I really do. Just as a kind of like a final farewell. Getting up there in age, but I wouldn't be opposed to him getting a good little run as a heel. I don't know if he'll ever win a championship or anything, but
yeah,
it'd be nice to have a move away from this Latino battle that's been going on for a year now.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on, Ryan, but Solo Sikoa main evented both shows.
Yeah, Solo's getting a little bit of a pusher. He took on Jey Uso in this night. Solo's just tearing up on both shows.
But both, just like the other match, it ended in a brawl.
It's the WrestleMania lead up. It's just, Cody came out and Seth came out, and then Cody cut a promo at the end of the night saying that, after I finish my story, there's going to be an even better story afterwards.
All right.
So, SmackDown was what it was. I didn't expect much out of this show. We did get a good promo by Bayley, Naomi, Bianca, and Jade. So, it's something. But, yeah, this show was nothing to write home about. I mean, It's a typical SmackDown go-home show.
Let's go into some WWE news here, Ryan. I guess the biggest thing that came out of this week was CM Punk had an interview with Ariel Helwani. And he said a lot of stuff. We can't go over everything. This podcast will go too long.
Yeah.
But
we're not Jim Cornette where we're going to go 4 hours.
Yeah, but this was interesting, right? He dropped a lot of stuff. Now, granted, it is his point of view. So I am going to be the reason of... I'm going to be the one that's a little reasonable here. Ryan, you're more of the... you agree with CM Punk a lot of what he said.
Yeah.
He basically, he said that Tony Khan is not a real boss. He's a nice guy, but he doesn't know how to control his talent, and he doesn't make his decisions are basically what he said. Whereas his decisions are based off of not confronting the problem. He wants to solve the problem without confronting it.
Yes.
And also, he said that his business practices are not what he thinks wrestling should be because. He basically feels like AEW is not there to sell tickets and stuff like that, and that's not what he thought it was going to be when he got there is what he says. So how do you feel about that, Ryan?
I mean it's with no one else saying anything, it's hard to know what Punk is saying is true or not. But it's he name dropped a bunch of people. So if he's lying, for him to just name drop Tony Schiavone and the Doctor and all these other people that were also involved in some of this stuff would be kind of stupid on his part to just name drop all these people.
Yeah. And
none of those people have responded and said anything denying what happened. So.
But they also work there.
But they still work there. So yeah, they're not going to. Most of them are just saying nothing. I don't know. Tony Khan's. It's hard for me to say Punk's wrong when we've kind of seen the way Tony Khan is. He never came across to me as a guy that's like a businessman. He's always come across as like an Eric Bischoff type that's just... But to a worser extent, I feel like. Because Eric Bischoff at least had the business sense to try and sell tickets and try to get pay-per-view buys. It seems like Tony Khan, none of that matters because he keeps hiring these people. And the only person who's ever gotten them a bump in the ratings was CM Punk. Most of the other hirings he's hired never really made a difference. But he's still paying them all this money. He's doing all this. Yeah, I don't know. It's, like I said, until we know the full story, it's hard to know But I can't see CM Punk just going out there and saying all this shit just to make it up.
Well, I don't think he's making it up. I think that's what he thinks is true in his point of view.
Yeah.
But I think that I can counteract with the. I think that the wrestling business is not the same as when CM Punk was in it.
No, it's clearly changed.
And TV is not the biggest thing anymore, like for ratings and stuff, because there's all the social media. People watch wrestling in different ways now.
Yeah.
But the TV rights deals and stuff like that, or if they get a streaming deal, that is big money, and it's probably more money than they do make in ticket sales, or would to make in ticket sales. So I think the business is different, and Tony Khan probably is trying to still make money on it. He didn't buy it. He didn't start it. But I think he wants that streaming deal. I think he wants the bigger, the TV deals and stuff, and I think that's what he's going for instead of, like, I'm sure he's not. It's not actively trying not to sell tickets. It's just he's not as concerned with selling tickets as he is getting that TV deal and that streaming deal. Yeah,
but at the same time, he's not really actively changing the way he's booking to sell tickets. They're down, and he's still booking these huge arenas.
Yeah.
And some of the times they're quarter full. Sometimes they do have good crowds. I'm not here going to say that AEW can't sell tickets, because depending on where they go, they sell tickets. Then they go some places, and it's a quarter full.
I don't know if it's a fact of, we got to move topics here, otherwise this should just be on the AEW portion. But I think it's more along the lines of maybe these places he's booked them out so far in advance that he can't go, or he feels obligated.
Well, yeah, that's probably the case. I mean, that's how they book WWE. They have a show coming to our area, and it's 3 months from now is when it's booked.
All right.
So you book in advance, so he can't really change it now. I mean, he's already paid the money and done all that. But yeah, the Punk comments really caused a stir on the internet, and I don't know. Because it sounded like to me that Punk wanted to be, well, he didn't want to be, but he was kind of running Collision in a way.
Yeah.
Do you see him wanting to do that in WWE?
Yeah, it sounds like
in the future.
I think he's already even said that, and not in an interview, but also I don't know if it was a social media or what it was, but he said that he kind of wants to be the next person in line.
Take over for Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, for NXT.
Yeah,
and he was trying to. He said that he was trying to help the younger generation in AEW, so I could see that.
I mean, he has gone down to the Performance Center a lot.
Yeah.
In WWE, so I obviously I think that's what he wants to do, is either be a producer or book a show. He wants to be in charge. Yeah. I feel like so.
Other wrestling news, Ryan. We have one interesting thing, and that is Cody Rhodes has said that mentioned again that he might change the belt if he wins it, Ryan.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the belt's ugly. The world titles, both WWE championships. Actually, I'm going to say every championship in WWE right now is pretty damn disgusting. I'm not a real fan of any of them, especially the WWE. So I would be all for it, changing at least one of them, but I understand why they are the way they are, branding reasons. But yeah, the world title looks okay. But yeah, I'd be okay with it. He mentioned on the Pat McAfee show that he wanted to potentially change the title, and so I don't know. I'd be all for it because I think the Universal title is an ugly championship, especially the gold. I'm not a fan of that all gold title. So I think he obviously will probably be a winged eagle throwback kind of title, probably kind of like the world title, where it's got the winged eagle elements on the side and then the WWE logo in the middle, I would say.
Yeah.
Speaking of titles, can we change the tag team titles?
Yeah, no crap.
They've been the same for 10 years now. They don't even... If you're looking at them, you don't even know... There's no WWE branding on it.
Yeah.
There's not... I don't even know if it says tag team champion on it. It's just two helmets. They really need to change those two.
Yep, agreed. All right.